right, so joining us here on the Music Vibes podcast, of course, he needs no introduction. Hip hop royalty right here. I mean, grew up
Hey,
listening to him coming out of high school. I remember the first
thank you.
time I heard KRIT was here. My homie Luke came back from college that first time, and he
Yeah.
threw me off at first. Come back listening to hip hop. I'm like, man, what you know about that? And he came, popped in that KRIT was here, and he played "Children of the World."
And they wonder why we bang, cause the police do the same. That's the only rival gang. I'm just sitting here praying to my father. Tired of the day, forever scared of tomorrow. Was a scale like a borrow, cause living ain't cheap. I dropped out of school, pops, cause college ain't free. Plus college ain't me. Sitting in the class, questions rushing in my brain, but I'm too proud to ask. Take it all in stride. Teacher talking physics and I just wanna be fly. What good is a degree when there's no job to apply? And fast food won't do cause you
I'll never forget the first and I was like, man, who is that? And he was like, hey, his name Big K.R.I.T. He's from Meridian, down south. And I'm like, all right, I'm on board. And it's been a long time, I'm sure, for you since then, it feels like.
Man, it's crazy, yeah, bro. We 10 years with that, right?
Crazy.
10 years, man. But it's a blessing, bro, because I remember when that record actually, we did the video in Mississippi in Meridian, and it actually went up on MTV, you know what I'm saying, jams and stuff. And after that, it was just crazy, you know what I'm saying, with people and even understanding the subject matter, because they didn't expect a country boy like me to be rapping over not only a production like that, which I produced it, you did, but to have the kind of subject matter too, man. And so, yeah, I'm just blessed that it was the right time for that record and people really were in a space to receive it. And even that whole project, bro, was a crazy time for me.
I'm sure it was. And I mean, obviously, that ain't the first work that you put out. I'm sure it was a grind prior to the release of KRIT Was Here. Kind of talk about, how the early stages of your career started for you, man.
Man, I started producing in 1999. Like the first thing I made a beat on was MTV Music Generator. I was like 13. Mm-hmm. And then just kind of working with people in my city, man, producing and writing. And, and the reason I started making beats for real is because I couldn't afford to buy them. Because paying $100 for a beat and you're 13 years old, it's not going, And so I started producing for myself. My beats were terrible in the beginning. Then I got on Fruity Loops around 2000 and probably 2000 and 2001, and then Reason, and then just trying to hone my skills. And for me, it was like everything that I heard on the radio. If the radio is telling me this is the top tier, this is the music to be heard, then my music as an underground artist has to compete with that. Mm-hmm. Production wise, subject matter wise, and so obviously it took years to get to that point, but I always believed in having cohesive bodies of music. Even when my first project came out, Dirty 30, I think was like 2001, 2002. Wow. And then See Me on Top was 2004, 2005. And then I did that See Me on Top 1, 2, and King of the Queen. And so it took a while to get the KRIT Was Here,
That's right.
But it was worth it, man. Just homing my skills, man.
That's right. Yeah. And I definitely wanted to highlight that grind, especially because like I got a lot of homies, that's trying to make it in the business, kind of like you, they produce their own music. They do everything themselves. And I mean, I like the point that you made though. Like you admitted like, hey, my shit back early in the day was terrible. I mean, everybody got to start somewhere. Like I remember the first podcast I did, man, I listened back, my interview was awful. I was listening like, man, why did I ask that? Like I should have, it goes into everything, man. So like, as a producer and as someone as talented as you that does everything yourself, what would be some advice for someone trying to make it like you?
If you're a producer and you're not as keen to rap, find you an up and coming rapper, right? Most producer rapper tandems work, for the most part, because one of y'all are gonna blow up first, and then that other person can kind of pull and y'all can help each other out, as far as like breaking. If you think about, Missy Elliott, Timbaland, you think about YG, you think about Mustard, Future, Metro Boomin, and the list goes on with how people work and kind of hone their skills. And I mean, at the end of the day, when you're kind of in that mode of the very beginning of stages, the organic stages, it might be terrible, some of it, but that's like that's creatively you and what you want to listen to and what you how you come off, and not necessarily what the radio playing or not necessarily what's popular in the moment. Is what you feel. So I tell a lot of artists, man, to, you know, kind of go back and, like you said, even listen to what you did back in the day. Listen to how hungry you were and the grit that you had, because that was like the most organic part of yourself before the exposure, before trying to do the YouTube videos or just trying to become popular in general. And I think a lot of my mixtapes is I can go back and listen and see the rawness in myself, and it keeps me grounded and humble. And it takes time, but it's a beautiful thing when you can be yourself in this industry, man. And ain't nothing gonna shake that, because it's so easy to get caught up in just trying to get a single, bro. And then you gotta keep playing that game, you know. And that's not easy.
No,
you know,
no, it's not. And it's easy to, I guess, as the term says, sell out, you know, and go that route. And you know, that's something that I know a lot of your fans admire you for, man. You never sold out, man. All the music that you release, even to this day, is 100% you. And I think that's what a lot of people appreciate. And I highlighted KRIT Wuz Here, and I got to go back to it, man, because one of my favorite mixtapes ever. Like, and I'm sure, I think you were nominated for the BET Award. I think you were nominated for like BET Awards and stuff, man. Like, just kind of talk about that process, because, like, at least in my eyes, I mean, that's when I think the world learned who Big K.R.I.T was.
Oh man, it was my last hurrah, man. I had been at that point, you know, I hadn't been working. I had a job since 2004, and being underground and just trying to sell beats and trying to get it popping back then. And this was before social media was like a thing, right? There was no Instagram, there was no Twitter per se. It just started. I think MySpace was like the domain to really post the music, and you can only post like 4 songs at a time. Man, and it was just like, I was like, all right, if this doesn't work, I'm going back home. And I'm going back home, I'm gonna get me a good job, and I'm gonna just, you know, this is fine. And so that's why it's so many songs on KRIT Wuz Here, and it's so many different. I was like, even me and just coasting, just everything from having an East Coast bounce or West Coast bounce, just going in, and because I was like, if this is the last project I put out, I'm gonna really just clear my catalog. It's like, this it, right? And it worked out, man, because it showed so many different sides of me, so many, not even on a production level, but a cadence carrying level, a hook level, like being vulnerable, and then still being able to come down and then having that energy. I think it really gave people a wider spectrum of where I could go musically. And so even now, if somebody would hear me be on a country song, they wouldn't think twice, because they can go back and listen to some of the songs like Never Go Back and still hear me singing over these acoustic guitars and country rap tunes. And so I've always had it, you know, but it was me doing it my own way. You feel me?
Yeah, man, that mixtape just goes down. And you talked a little bit about Children of the World, and you mentioned, you know, the lyricism that you put into that song. That's one I really want to highlight, man, because as you said, it's 10 years ago, but I mean, everything you said in it just resonates probably even more so today. Kind of talk about those lyrics, man.
It's bittersweet, because writing that is something that not only was what I was feeling, what I was dealing with emotionally, but to fast forward 10 years later, and it's still relative, and it's still relevant, and it's still something that's going on, is where the bittersweet part comes into play. Because you want to make timeless music, but you don't want it to be from a perspective where people are hurting or people are going through the same situations that kind of brings them down in a sense. But I think that's what we just with time. I mean, when I wrote records back when I was 17, 18, it was from a perspective of, oh, I just want to go out, I want to party, I want to do this and enjoy that. I mean, hitting 30, your mind frame isn't there, right? And so certain songs like Liberation and certain records from Outkast that I might not have understood when I was younger, it took me to get older and be like, I know exactly what they talk about now. Right now. So I just think that's what music is. I think that's what art is. And so for me, I was still writing even for my future self back then, like, just in case this don't work out, man, it's all good, you know, or just wanting to create relatable music across the board. And I'm blessed that I wanted to do that. I was able to do that, and I didn't sway away from my creative control. Right.
That's right, man. Yeah, Children of the World. I just remember hearing it, man. It just blew me away to this day. Like that's just one of them songs that stuck with me. I also loved "They Got Us," that Marvin Gaye sample you do. I was like, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, and a lot of that again, bro, is because of what I was experiencing in the grind of being an underground artist, and literally every day, every day you wake up and it's like, all right, we ain't evicted. It's like get to it, you know.
Yeah.
And music was my therapy, so I'm writing it down. If I felt like that day, I'll write about it, you know.
Real, that's real. Yeah. That highlights, you know, that mixtape. And I wanted to talk about this because I really appreciate, you know, from a fan's perspective, you finally got everything on streaming, which I know personally, being in the music industry, I know that is not an easy process. Getting everything cleared and everything. But
yes, sir.
From a fan though, I gotta have a little fun with you, and I gotta pick on you a little bit.
Here we go.
We got R4, but no R4 theme song, man.
Man, it's sample clearances. But you can still check some of those records out on the prequel, which we did end up dropping with Def Jam around that time. Right. And so it's just being independent, sample clearances. They want to make sure everything's taken care of with the records. And for me, it's like just a blessing to be able to get out what I got out. Right.
Yes.
And for those people that may have caught those records and have them, man, congratulations. But we had to do it 100% the right way. We got it and we out here streaming. And Lord knows, I'm just grateful for that, man. Straight up.
That's right. What is it, like 300 songs?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of music, bro. And it's still, I mean, if you think about it, that's still not all of it though.
No.
That's not the mixtapes I dropped years ago. That's not the albums. That's not the side cuts that I was just like, I just want people to have this.
Yep.
But again, it's because I love creating music, and if I'm going through something in the moment and I write about it, I feel like people need to hear it, man. And so I've never been a part. I mean, I do believe in quality over quantity, man. But we believe we gonna always be quality over here.
That's right. That's right. Oh, we know that. We know that.
Yeah.
And you know, after releasing those big mixtapes and kind of getting out there, you had the big studio album, Live from the Underground, man. Kind of talk about that transition too.
That was an interesting transition, man, because you go from, when you think about mixtapes, it's such a freedom there because it's free. And so you do what you want to it, and you release it and you let people have it. Releasing an album, and especially you're talking about a label album, it's like it's the difference between having mixtape is just like a private plane, or just a plane and you got your own runway, you can just take off, do whatever you want. When you on a label, man, it's like a commercial airline, and it's mad planes ahead of you, boss, you know. And don't have nothing, don't let nothing be wrong with your wheel, or don't have to do no service check, because then you really ain't taking off. And so that's what sample clearances was for that album, which is we had a lot of hiccups with that, a few hiccups with single rolling out, and and so it created a real difficult time. And even me being, I'll go back and listen to the album, being frustrated while even creating that album, because I went from being in a room and making what I wanted to make, and that's it, to you now have to play music for people that may not know your story or your background. And that made me a little frustrated. And even I go back, I can hear some of the anger in some of the songs. But I still was able to do exactly what I wanted to do, which I produced my first major label album in entirety. And a lot of people can't say that. And we still did numbers. You did?
Still did it.
We still did numbers, man. And people even now sometimes go back and listen to it, and they appreciate it more now than they might have back then.
Oh, for sure. I was young. I was like, I'm a few years younger than you, so like I was like 21 when that came out. So like, I mean, I was still young, but I'm 30 now, so like it hits.
Now you get it now. Like, Don't Let Me Down make a lot more sense.
Oh man, yes.
Please help me. You did.
Please help.
Yeah, keep the porch light on make a lot more sense, you know. But nah, man. But it's growing pains, and I learned a lot about, again, keeping my creative control, which I think over time people started to realize, and I think a lot of the supporters, as much as they wanted to see me on this level, they also understood that KRIT ain't gonna change up to get there.
That's right.
He's gonna be himself unapologetically. If he's in that light, or if he performing on the award show, he's still gonna be himself. And so I take that it's the road less travel, but I take it.
That's right. And someone that I know you worked with throughout the years, I got to talk to him a few months ago. I got to talk to Wiz Khalifa. And
hey, the homie. Yeah.
He joined and we talked about you, of course. Like, I mean, growing up listening to both y'all at the same time. I mean, you got Cushion Orange Juice on one tape, you got, KRIT Wuz Here on the other, then R Ford and Forever in a Day. Like it just, and you got Wiz again back on Catalactica. Kind of talk about, working with people like him and like Currency too.
I mean, they're my brothers, you know what I'm saying? And then you got those Smoke Dizzle in the mix too. You feel me? Yeah. And so what it is it's like a family reunion. I mean, we get around each other and it's easy to create, but then it's all those memories of like that whole era. You know what I'm saying? Because Wiz was the first person I went on tour with.
Yep.
And so I learned a lot by going on the Wake and Bake tour, bro. Like just about not only crowd control but how certain the sequencing of like certain records and when to really go up and then really come down, man. And it was a huge experience performing Victorious on that tour. You did?
Yes.
It's like, okay, this is a great record, but it might not be, you know what I'm saying, for the tour,
That's right.
And then coming off of that and then doing Return of Forever. So I definitely gotta, champion the homie for being a lot of why the energy is the amount of energy records and bounce that I got on Return of Forever is because I came off the Wake and Bake tour and I saw like when certain records hit, like even when country shit hit, whether they knew it or not, they go up. And I was like, I want that. I want to keep that going the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but it's like a family reunion, bro. They're my brothers. I love them, man.
That's right. And going back and listening to Glass House, that was one of the songs you released.
Yes.
New rollout. Like it's like time travel, man. There ain't no time machines invented yet, but that's as close as we'll
take it. Get your old school, they'll take you back. You feel me?
Right. You said it, Riding Clean, Time Machine. We had to, and that's kind of what we get to do, with this new music. I guess we call it new, but that you rolled out. But I want to talk about, what else that you got that you're working on right now. I know you always working, you always grinding, and I know you're allowed to say some stuff. You're allowed to say something. So I got.
Yeah, I mean, say I'm allowed to say. I mean, for me, it's still like it was something about the aura of music back when I was growing up in the '90s and like early 2000s. When you really didn't know much, but you knew it was coming out. Yep. You didn't know the title, you didn't know what the cover was gonna look like, and it made you appreciate the rollout a little more. And so for me, that's why I've always been very secretive and or calculated. And so a lot of my projects, I've even told you the name of the album in the project. It's just on you to find it. You know what I'm saying? But this next one, I'm excited about it. I can't speak too much on it, but it's not going to take a year for you to get to you, first off. Okay. Secondly, like I've done in previous times where I drop a project and then I disappear, it's not going to happen again. Okay. Like the amount of music that I've created and the confidence that I now have in what I do, I'm gonna be consistent more than you ever seen, boss. So we're gonna turn around and probably have another conversation in the next few months, and it's gonna be about a whole bunch of other stuff that I got going on. But trust me, bro, it's gonna be quality and quantity. Believe that there.
I can't wait. Yeah. That's all I needed.
Yeah, man. Don't even worry, bro. Don't even worry.
I ain't greedy. That's all I needed right there. And
no doubt.
You mentioned a couple months from now, it could be a different conversation. And I know it's something that you look forward to doing shows. And, before we even get into promoting the tour date going Saturday, November 13th, Fort Wayne, Indiana,
we're going to be there. Let's go.
Y'all better be there.
Let's go. And be safe. We're going to be there. We're going to be safe. Believe it.
That's right. Yeah. And so with all this, going on, and I know a lot of artists are still kind of hesitant on doing anything. So how, personally for you, I know you're excited to get back out there to tour.
I mean, it's about being safe. I ended up having a show in Houston that went amazing. We was safe, distance as much as we possibly could. Mm-hmm. And I'm one of those people where I got sanitizer on me at all times with the mask, right? Sure. And that's just not only for me to keep myself safe, but keep other people around me safe too, and try to still have those experiences that we missed out on so much in 2020. And trust me, I get it, bro, because it's something about, I didn't realize how much community was important to me until it wasn't available, right? In 2020, put us all in a position where once we got the opportunity to be around others, it felt so good and we missed it that we wanted to do it all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's great, but it's still about not only being safe, but thinking about other people that you encounter as well. And Lord willing, the distance between what we got going on now and when I do that show, that everything will not only be safer, that people will be more comfortable to come out and party with Country Cousin, knowing that we're going to do everything we can to make it a great show and make everybody at ease. You did?
I cannot wait. Saturday, November 13th. Everybody who's watching right now, get your tickets. This man, I seen him.
Come on, man.
He talked about it. I seen him Wake and Bacon. First time I seen him, that Wake and Bacon tour. Back a little bit. It's been a while since I got to see you, though, man. That's why I'm so excited.
Hold on. Last time you saw me perform was in 2010?
Wake and Bacon.
What?
No.
Hey, man. No. Man, the show has definitely changed since then.
Oh, I'm sure.
Wow. Yeah, man, you gotta come out, man. Like, yeah, we turn up, man, and I feel like I got more energy on stage now than I did back then.
Okay.
We gonna turn up in
this. I was gonna say you had a good, nice live show back then. No, we 30 now, man. We can't used to.
I know, but right around that time, it was just like we were partying every night before shows too. I don't do that so much. I'm focused on the performance. So I'm hydrated, you know what I'm saying? Like I got my mental together, I get my cardio in, and then I get on stage and we go up. You feel?
That's right. I can't wait to check it out, man. And hopefully, when you come to the town, because I don't live there anymore because I got a new job. I'm up here in South Bend, Indiana, where I'm a program director.
Congratulations, boss.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm running the R&B station up here, but I know Fort Wayne still follows everything I'm doing, and I'm following everything Fort Wayne is doing. I'm gonna come back to the hometown, and I'm gonna check you out. Everyone else, check out my guy.
Come on, man, and come parlay with us backstage, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one of those things again, bro. You now that we are and we can be around people, it's really good to give each other their roses while they're on the top side of the earth, bro. So we try to do that as much as possible too. So definitely pull up, bro. 2010. What?
Yeah, I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up, man. I'm pulling up.
Bet.
All right, man. Stay safe. I'm looking forward to everything. And I will see you when you come to Fort Wayne Saturday, November 13th. All right.
No doubt, man. I appreciate y'all so much. Much love. Stay safe, boss.
All right. Stay safe, man. Take care.
All right. Thank you.